Monuments were, are, and will always be the tangible union to our origins. You may think Santiago and Darren have nothing in common, but there is more than we can appreciate if we look it from the right perspective. The first one is known for having the tomb of the legendary apostle, but also Darren is the home to the remains of St. Cuthbert of Canterbury, and Bede, one of the first historians of Great Britain. Having this in mind, we could think about the possible similarities we can identify, not only between the cities, but through their historic monuments.
Located in the historic center of Santiago de Compostela, where the Apostle Santiago was supposedly buried, this cathedral is the destination for pilgrims who follow the English way. Initially, it was a Romanesque-style temple, but with time, Gothic, Renaissance and Baroque elements were added, making it one of the most outstanding cathedrals of Spain. Originally, after the tomb was discovered, the Asturian king Alphonse II ordered the construction of a small stone and mud chapel. The original temple was quite simple, with one floor and a central body surrounded by a colonnade and the portico. At the time of Alfonso III's reign, he decided to enlarge the temple because of the ascending number of pilgrims, building another annex, larger than the previous one. Almost at the end of the 10th century, Muslim troops razed Santiago, miraculously preserving the original tomb. The Romanesque church was then built, specifically in the year 1075 and under the order of Alfonso VI and Diego Pelay. Despite initially being in the Romanesque style, a major remodeling took place in the 17th century, transforming it into a great Baroque-style work. At this time, they designed and finished the famous Holy Door and the glorious Obradoiro facade. Outside the cathedral, we can see the well-known squares of Obradoiro, Platerías and Quintana, all of them with great tradition and a lot of history at their feet, creating a special atmosphere, which rewards the faith of walkers from all over the world with its powerful spirituality and impressive beauty.
Sigüeiro is a village located on the English Way. This place is not only known for being one of its critical stops. Sigüeiro is a Galician town located in the province of A Coruña, situated on the banks of the Tambre River, and known for being the last place before reaching Santiago. This village is the capital of the Oroso municipality. Focusing on more specific data, in 2022, more than 30,000 pilgrims passed through this town. According to Manuel Miras, former mayor of Oroso municipality for 22 years, the English Way was the most important in the Middle Ages. However, it was the last to be recognized. Regarding the main monuments of Oroso, it should be noted that the main attractions are based more on a landscape and environmental theme, with a great variety of beautiful landscapes. In recent years, efforts have been redoubled to put up monuments related with the pilgrimage and reinforce the local heritage. The most notable bridge is the medieval Bridge of Sigüeiro, erected in the 14th century by decision of Fernán Pérez de Andrade, and having undergone a very important remodeling in the 20th century. There are also statues especially to honor the most important pilgrims, like Margery Kemp, who was the first recognized pilgrim of the English Way. The mamuas that stand out are Pilar de Arriba, Coto do Lobo, Recouso and Gradamil, are funerary mounds formed by soil or soil and stones that were usually made during the Neolithic period in the northwest part of the peninsula.
Built in 1093 in Romanesque style, it was one of the most representative buildings of its period. It took about 3 decades to erect it, since England was invaded by William the Conqueror, Duke of Normandy, when he crossed the English Channel to start the Norman conquest. Unlike other examples of cathedrals, this one is not a composition of different styles. It is the conspicuous example of the Romanesque style for many scholars. It used to be a fortress too, given the privileged location where it lies, near Scotland. Even when Henry VIII decided to dissolve all the monasteries and the cathedrals, he decided to be gentle with this one. But the most critical moment of the history of the cathedral was in 1650, when Oliver Cromwell defeated the Scots in the Battle of Dunbar, where he captured almost 3,000 soldiers that were imprisoned in this temple. They burned all the wood from the cathedral, except for a piece of furniture where a thistle, symbol of Scotland, was painted. In 2012, it was chosen as the best building in Britain. We can conclude that not only Darren and Santiago can boast the fact that they are home to the remains of a saint and an apostle, but that nowadays it is so remarkable and inspiring how authorities from both countries are working together. Santiago de Compostela, as a matter of fact, became established as the pilgrim city after centuries of tradition. That affected not only to the architecture of the cathedral, but the whole city. It made it a much more bigger center in which all types of art style coexist, making it a living being of what the Galician community represented in the past. Apart from that, both cathedrals were used to be a fortress. Santiago's in its part as protector of the city, and Darren's as a border with Scotland. Concluding, these two monuments are included in the World Heritage List of UNESCO. At last, we can see that both cities have more in common than we thought, denoted by the English way, crossing Sigüenza.